Hello! I thought it would be really fun today to do a little what I miss type of video. I was actually talking about this the other day with my colleagues at work about all the things that we miss, so I thought I'd do it on a video. I've got a list though because I can't remember them all off the top of my head. So I'm going to start with my top British foods that I really miss now that I live in Australia. And then next week I'll do what I miss about living in London. So my top British foods, it's a bit of a weird list. It's as I go on, you might nod along and be like, yeah, I really miss that too. Or you might be like, that's a weird thing to miss, why would you miss that? Anyway, we'll see how it goes. So the first thing that I really miss now that I live in Australia is Greggs sausage rolls. I'm a massive Greggs fan. I know that it's a little bit dodgy and, you know, but I feel like every British person deep down really loves Greggs, even though we don't like to admit it. And I was very lucky that I had a Greggs about a 15-minute walk from my house, and then I also had plenty of Greggs in London near my office. So I actually really miss their sausage rolls because their sausage rolls are the best, and no matter where I go in Australia, just no sausage roll compares. So yeah. And then the next thing, this is more of a London foodie thing, but vital ingredient salads. In Australia, I find it very difficult to find somewhere that will do a customised salad for you, and I'm quite a fussy person when it comes to salads. So my favourite salad from Vital, and as you will recognise it's not really a salad, was basically quinoa with mozzarella balls, chicken, guacamole, tomatoes and olive oil all mixed together. Oh, and an egg, all like a hard-boiled egg, all mixed together, and then so the guacamole like bound it all together with the olive oil, and it was just amazing. And when I went back in July, I literally trekked half an hour from the office just to go to Vital Ingredient and get my salad, because my new office is nowhere near a Vital Ingredient, whereas my old office was a 5-minute walk around the corner from one. So yeah, that might be, it's a very London thing, a bit of a weird one, but I miss salads, and I miss salad bars in general. We've got a salad bar kind of near my office in Sydney called Salad Bar, but it's just not as good. They don't have as many options, and it's just a bit meh, just not as good as Tost and Vital. So yeah. Also, I really miss M&S meal deals. That's probably the most middle class thing ever, but I'm not ashamed of it. M&S meal deals are the best. They are the superior meal deal, and I just really miss going to a huge M&S, because so my old office in London was right by the big, it was literally behind Selfridges, so on Portman Square, so it was literally a 2-minute walk from that huge M&S on Oxford Street, opposite Selfridges, and I really miss going in there and having this huge selection of meal deals. Yeah, because in Australia they don't do meal deals, like they just don't understand the concept. And although some supermarkets sell sandwiches and you can get a drink and a sandwich for a special price, it's just not the same, and they don't have as many choices. The next thing is proper cake. Australia does not do cake. They do amazing biscuits, amazing cookies, lamingtons, muffins, slices, all of that, but just not a proper cake. Like a huge chunk of cake, you know, like a big chunk of carrot cake, nice huge slice of carrot cake with a good layer of icing on top, frosted icing on top. They do not do that here. And they also don't do lemon cake here, so I have to make my own, and then I've got an entire cake, so then I have to eat it all. No, joking aside, I do take it into work when I do make it, so that everyone at work gets to enjoy it too, and so I don't get fat. But Australians just don't do cake, and it makes me sad. And then this one is kind of gross, but I feel like a lot of you will actually understand where I'm coming from here. I really miss a British Chinese takeaway, and You know what, I only used to have Chinese takeaway once or twice a year back home, but now that I can't have it, I really miss it. Like the whole of last week, all I wanted was a classic British chicken curry with chips dipped into the curry sauce, and I couldn't get it because nowhere in Sydney does that. Like, they do actual proper Chinese food here, which is the sad thing, is that I want the British crap Chinese compared to the actual real authentic Chinese food that you get in Sydney. And also, while we're on the takeaway subject, fish and chips. So you would think that Australia would do really good fish and chips, and in Perth they do. In Perth they do an amazing fish and chips. Sydney, not so much. There's a fish and chip shop round the corner from my house, and it's just a bit crap. It's just not very good. The batter is weird, and all the other fish and chips I've tried in Sydney have also been just as disappointing. And then I went to New Zealand in October, and I had an amazing fish and chips there, and I was like, if New Zealanders can make a good fish and chips, why can't Australia? Well, why can't Sydney people? Because Perth do an amazing fish and chips too, so I just don't really understand why Sydney can't do one either. Also, basically Pret in general, but in particular, Pret's mac and cheese with kale, which is a funny one because kale is very healthy, mac and cheese not so healthy, so you're kind of counteracting the healthiness from the kale, but it tastes amazing. I also miss Pret's cakes because they do an amazing banana cake and an amazing apple cake and an amazing carrot cake, and I also miss Pret's dark chocolate and sea salt chocolate bars because they are literally the perfect little treat size, so you can just pick up a 99p treat size dark chocolate sea salt chocolate bar, whereas here you don't get treat size ones. It's all or nothing. You have to have a giant Lindt bar or nothing at all, which makes me sad. Oh, and also Pret's chocolate brownies too. They're really, really good. They're literally the best brownie I've ever had compared to even all the homemade ones that I've had. The Pret chocolate brownies, you just can't beat them. And I don't know what they do to them or like how they make them, but they just taste amazing. And while we're on the subject of chocolate now, Gale's hot chocolate. This is another London one because Gale's, I think, is just in London. But Gale's hot chocolate is literally one of the best hot chocolates you will ever have. I mean, you can't really beat Angelina in Paris, but after Angelina and after all the Paris cafes, because obviously like all the little cafes and bistros in Paris do, and France in general do amazing hot chocolates, after the French hot chocolate, Gale's is the best hot chocolate you will have in the UK, and I miss it so much because Australians just don't do a good hot chocolate. And I mean, they specialise in coffee here, and I don't drink coffee, so yeah. And then still on the sweet topic, cupcakes, in particular hummingbird cupcakes and Lola's cupcakes. Now this was another thing that I used to buy like after work or on my lunch break. So once a month I would treat myself to a Lola's cupcake from Selfridges food hall, and I really miss that monthly treat. They're literally the best cupcakes you'll ever have. They're so moist and fluffy, but with this incredible cream cheese frosting, and the flavours they come in are just incredible. Like the apple crumble flavour was my favourite, and red velvet was also amazing, and Oreo was also amazing. The blueberry one is also good, and the banana one's great too. And then this is another weird chain restaurant one, Pizza Express. Now Australia does a very, very good pizza. I cannot fault them on their pizzas at all. Way better than the Pizza Express pizzas, but Pizza Express bruschetta and Pizza Express dough balls, oh my gosh, I miss those so much. Like the dough balls, they're so simple. It's literally just dough dipped in olive oil and like garlic butter, but oh my gosh, they taste good. And the bruschetta, okay, I love bruschetta. Everywhere I go, if bruschetta is on the menu, I will have it. And I know that the Pizza Express one is not authentically Italian at all. Like that, the bread they use, the dough is obviously not how you usually eat bruschetta in Italy, and I'm fully aware that you also do not pronounce it bruschetta. Anyway, the Pizza Express bruschetta though, It honestly just tastes amazing. I think it's because they put the pesto with it. It's like the combination of the Pizza Express dough ball dough, the pesto, the red onion, the chopped tomatoes, all of it together is just heaven. Complete heaven. And then also Itsu. I miss just running across the road to Itsu and picking up a packet of sushi rolls and knowing that they were going to be okay quality and that you have a wide variety of sushi roll choices. In Australia, the supermarkets have sushi rolls, but every single sushi roll is salmon, and I do not eat salmon. So it's a bit of a nightmare for me. Whereas Itsu, they do the California roll, which I know is, I think it's like a very Western sushi roll. It's literally crab meat with avocado, and I think that's it. It's crab meat and avocado, but whatever, I love it. But Itsu also do tuna ones too. All the sushi places, well, all the supermarkets that sell sushi in Sydney, all they sell is salmon, and it drives me mad because all I want is a California roll or a tuna roll, and not cooked tuna, raw tuna, but no, they don't do that here. And finally, the most important one, tiger bread, specifically from Sainsbury's. So I'm not a massive bread eater. I don't particularly, well, I enjoy eating bread, but I just don't really have it very often, and it's not something that I really like need to eat. But give me a loaf of Sainsbury's tiger bread and I will chow through that whole loaf within a week. And I mean, these are huge loaves of bread, so in a week that's saying something. I mean, that's, you know, not a very long time to eat an entire loaf of bread to yourself, but I will quite happily have it for breakfast, lunch and dinner, covered in butter. And I don't know, I just haven't seen tiger bread in Australia in Coles or Woolworths or anything, so I don't know if you can get it here, but I really miss it. So yeah, those are the main things that I miss food wise from England. I'm trying to think, oh, obviously chocolate as well, like proper chocolate, because Australia does not do proper chocolate. The only decent tasting chocolate you can have here is Lindt. And then you can also buy English chocolate from supermarkets, but it's like $4 for a bar of chocolate. So I only buy it if I need a treat, and they do not sell Cadbury's English chocolate here. The only bars you can get are like Whispers and Galaxy bars. And we do have Cadbury's in Australia, but it's not the same. Like, it tastes completely different. It tastes very artificial and not as creamy, and it's just gross. It's disgusting. You do not want to eat it. It's horrible. So yeah, those are really the things that I miss the most. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go now, but let me know in the comments what you miss the most out of food in England. I'll have a think and see if I've missed anything. I don't think I have. I think that's everything. That is quite a lot, actually. I've only just realised, I'm like looking at my list. That's actually quite a lot of food. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Okay, bye.